Hi guys, Talha over here from T's Design Academy, and this is going to be my very first YouTube video tutorial, and I am super excited about my new video channel, and I am nervous as well because this is going to be my first ever tutorial. I have never faced an experience like this before. Alright, so now getting more into our video today, we are going to learn on how to create a motion interaction of a search icon, which we can use in our website, in a UI designs for any app, either it's iOS or Android. So I'm really excited on to share to you guys on what I have to share, and I'm really excited and nervous as well on the response which I'll get back from you guys. So if you're excited to learn what I have to share, get ready and I'll see you on the other side. Hey guys, welcome back, and we are in After Effects using running version CC 2018. You could use any version for that matters, and let's just go ahead. Alright, so we're going to create a new composition and we're going to call it search bar micro interaction, and my composition settings are the width and height 1920 by 1080. Frame rate I have set to 60. Mostly use 30, but when I am into using working, I'm creating motions for my UI designs, I use 60, and do recommend you guys to use 60 as well, as it gives better results at 60 frames rate, 60 frame rate, right? And the duration is 10 seconds. Alright, so now this is our main composition, and we're going to create a background. For that, let's just go ahead and create a solid, and let's call it background. You can give any color. I'm going to go ahead with this one, and okay. So now we have created a background, and we're going to lock the background down. If you for some reason you could not hear my voice properly, that is because I am nervous. This is my first video tutorial and I have no experience whatsoever, so yeah. Alright, so now first of all what we're going to do is we are going to create the icon, the search icon, which includes a circle and the tail of the search icon, which and average looking search icon has. So for that, again, right click new, and first of all we're going to create a shape layer, and from over here select the rectangle tool or the rectangle tool. Do not select the ellipse tool, which I will show you why not to select the ellipse tool in a moment. Alright, so I'm going with rectangle tool. You can go with rectangle tool as well, it doesn't really matter that much. So I'm holding shift to create an equally balanced shape, and we'll go with this one. My my fill is empty, and if you don't know how to do that, over here simply click on fill, and from over here select none. My stroke is 2.5 pixels and the color is white. Alright, now we have to convert this rectangle into a circle. So what we will do over here is you can see that over here in the drop down, in the content section, you can see rectangle 1. Go into the rectangle 1, go into rectangle path, and you do not have to worry of what all the other properties are. We will have a look at them later, or in the later videos, in the upcoming videos. And over here in the roundness property, enter 100, and we have convert our rectangle into a circle. And alright, now let me quickly show you why I said do not select ellipse. Let's just go ahead and create a new shape, and this time select ellipse from over here, and just create an ellipse again by holding shift down. Oops, let me just do it. Alright, so this is just for practice. It really doesn't matter if they're both the same size or not. Alright, so now we have created two shapes. Let me just quickly go ahead and rename this to circle. Yep. Alright, so now let's go down over here and same for the ellipse tool. In the content section, the rectangular path, what we could do over here is that it has 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can play with each side, right? Like so. We could do like this, bend it to our will, and that does not look that much really bad. But if you go with this section over here, ellipse and go ellipse path and play over here with these section, right? When it is linked it perfectly, it's fine. But when I unlink it and then I play with it, it goes like this, and like so. And this sort of a placeholder for our search bar will not look very good. So that is why I asked you to use the rectangle tool. Okay. Delete that layer as well. Alright, so now again create a new layer, and this one is going to be for the tail of our search icon over here. For that I'm going to use the pen tool. You can also do that by the rectangle tool, but we're going to do this with the pen tool over here. So the shortcut for using the pen tool is G. Just use it right there. And it's G. And I'm going to hold down Shift and create that tail of our search icon. Plus I'm good thing that I'm going to reduce the size of our icon, the ball, or a little bit, not that much, like so. Alright, so I'm doing a little bit quickly all the work. You must take your time on creating the perfect shape of the search icon. I'm just doing it quickly, so just to show you guys on the motion, because this is actually a motion tutorial, not on creating an icon tutorial. Also, if this is your first time in After Effects, don't get scared off, because when I came first time on After Effects, although I was working on Illustrator and Photoshop for some time, I was really scared by looking at the interface of the After Effects. But when give it some time to sink in, I gave it some time to sink into me. I work on it and I realized that it's very easy and fun to work with. After Effects is very easy and fun to work with. Alright, so now we have created our icon, and now let's just start with the animation. So just rename this to like cross. You could give it any name, but since this is going to be converted into a cross, I'm going to name it cross. Alright, so now we want to animate this little tail into the circle. For that, the shortcut is P. The P tool is used for positioning. So once the P property appears, click on this little stopwatch, and what will it do is that it will create this little point over here, which we call keyframe in After Effects. And what this keyframe does is that it holds certain values, and it tells After Effects what does After Effects has to do with those values. Let me show you in a moment over here. So I'm just going to go ahead a few frames further, like so, and I'm going to animate this. Like so. Oops, first thing I forgot an important thing. Undo, delete all the position there. This, when you select your object, then this, you would see any object in After Effects, you would see this main point. This point is basically used to consider the center of your object, and we want it mostly we want it to be in the center of our selected object. Or if you are a very advanced person of After Effects, then you know that we could play around with it and do a lot of things, but for the basic level we want it to be in the center of our object. So to select this, we have to use our pan behind tool, which is over here, and the shortcut to do that is Y. Alright, just drag it and hit Control, so it will align perfectly on the center of our highlighted object. Perfect. Now I'll just zoom in, and now we're going to give it the position property. It's going to give a position like so. Moving ahead, you can change the amount you want to give the distance between your keyframes later, and like however you want it. And I'm going to drag this to there, like here. I'm going to drag this to like here, and this is what it does. And After Effects, let me show you. Creates this simple and animation. Alright, now with this much done, we want our this tail to convert into a cross. Now the trick behind that is pretty simple. What we will do is we will duplicate our this cross by hitting Control or Command on a Mac and then D. Now it will create a duplicate of it, and we'll call After Effects has already called it cross 2. So you can see that the duplicate has perfectly sat on the top of our selected object. And at this point, moving a little frames further, we're going to rotate it, and for that we're going to use the rotation property. So select our cross 2 from here, and if you want to see the position keyframes as well, hit Shift plus R and you will see the rotation property. If you hit only R, it would have hit the position property and I would have shown you the rotation property, but since I want to see my position property as well, I use the Shift plus R shortcut key. Alright, so again, now giving it a keyframe over here and moving few frames further, giving a keyframe of 90 degree. Perfect. So it will create this cross. As you can see that my cross is not in the center. I'm just making this video a pretty fast one. You can play around, take your time, take your cross into the center of your circle, make it perfectly at the center, because that is a good practice and to do so. So far this is what we have done. Boom. Right, perfect. Now we have created a few keyframes, and I want to share with you a very important thing, which is, if you've been working with After Effects, you probably would know it. Every motion designer knows it, but if this is your first time, you should know it. It's very important, and we use this technique to make our animation more smoother. Alright, select the keyframes and right click on it, go to keyframe assistant and ease them. What this property does is it makes our animation of our objects more smoother. Do for all of them. Alright. One thing I wanted to mention is that I'm from Pakistan, and I'm making this tutorial in English, but a friend of mine suggested me that I should also make the same video and should make the language should be in Urdu or Hindi for all of my friends over here in Pakistan and India and or in any other country who are comfortable in Urdu or Hindi. So if you want me to do that, do tell me in the comments down below, because I would be happy to do so. Alright, so now we're pretty much done. Now what we want to do is we want to convert our circle into that search placeholder, right? The X is probably not in the center. I again recommend you to take your time and take this X into the center. Alright, oops. Alright, so sorry for that sudden stop. Anyway, so now what we're going to do is we want to animate our circle into a placeholder. So for that, just go a few frames further like so, and go to your position over here, sort of rectangle, sorry, content rectangle path. Click on this, unlink this property over here on the size property, unlink, and give it a keyframe over here. I'm sorry again if you could not hear my voice. Go a few frames further like so, and just enter a property like so. So now you see that it created that search animation. Let's increase the size, maybe like 600. Alright, perfect. And just increase distance as well, like good. Alright, the same we'll do with our X. We want our X to move on the right side as well, along with our placeholder. So going to our X property over here, again just quickly go ahead and create them to easy ease, and then where does it all start? It's all start over here, right? So we want to give our X position property over here as well. So give your X position property over here, and it goes to so. Click on your X, hold shift and give it like this. Alright, holding shift is necessary to give it a steady and a straight line. Now copy these properties, keyframes, and go to this cross and give it that same effect. So now let's have a quick look on what we get. Oops, something went wrong. So over here is what's going wrong. Now fine, perfect. So we have created almost 75% of our animation. Now what we have to do is we have to create the text in it. So just minimize all of your objects over here and right click, new, go text. You can use any font which you want. I'm using Franklin Kotek, which I think is built-in, because I don't remember any downloading Franklin font. Sorry, I was just trying to be funny. Type in any text you want. Why is it not working? Right, type in any text you want. So I'm going to type in Star Wars The Last Jedi. Okay, and again you want our this tool to be in the center. Y is the shortcut for the pen behind tool. Hit control to make it perfectly balanced into the center of our text. Alright, perfect. So now let's just go ahead and animation so we could know where we want our text to appear. Right, so this is where we want our text to appear. You can increase and decrease the size of the text from these properties over here if you want. I think I'm going to go with the same approach. Alright, so we want our text to appear at this point, not before this point. Alright, and now we want our text to get the effect like it's being typed in, not like just simply appear, because that obviously does not look cool. So now we're going to give our text the effect that it is getting typed in. For that, what we're going to do is we're going to select our text property over here, and we're going to select the rectangle tool over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to mask our text. So for that, just simply go ahead. As you can see, as we using the mask tool over here, actually it's not the mask tool, it's the mask property which After Effects automatically recognize. And you can see that in our layers panel, you can see that a mask property has been created under our text object. And now what we're going to do is drag that property, the mask, all around our text, like so, like so. Okay, so now we have a mask on our text. Now go to your map. This was the property which I was talking about. If you had not seen it, like that text object, a mask property has been created by After Effects. Now what you have to do is go down to your mask 1, and over here click on the stopwatch to create a keyframe, but not yet. For first, what we want to do is that when the search bar appears, we want our the search placeholder, if you will, to be empty. So how do we do that? Select, while your mask has been selected, hit Control T. Hit Control T and just zoom in. Z is the shortcut for zooming in, and take it down that no alphabet of the Z's could be seen, like so, like so. And now hit the property. I hope you're understanding what we are doing right now is that we are giving After Effects again the value of over here in this keyframe, that at this point no text will be seen. And when we go further, like so, a few frames further, we want the text to be seen. So zoom in a little bit more so we could grab this center one. Come on, man. Now I grab and just drag all the way until your text gets finished. Over here. Alright, now let's have a look. Perfect. I'm just quickly going to create my text into an ease, and here we are. So we have a search icon, we have this cross effect, and here it is. Perfect. Now what we have to do is we have to create a blinker, if you will, like it's a cursor which has to appear before the text to give it a more realistic look. So for that, again, create new and shape. I hope if this is your first time to Adobe After Effects, by far, I know it's not really that much deep into After Effects. It is pretty much a beginner scale tutorial. So if you're still having any sort of difficulties in my method of teaching, or since this is my first tutorial, if you could not hear my voice properly, do let me know, so in my next video I could overcome all of those problems. And we're going to call this one blinker, so we can know that what this does, it gives to blink. Alright, so we want our blinker to be over here, right? So again, we're using the pen tool. The shortcut to using the pen tool is G. Create a blinker, and I'm going to make my blinker a little bit light, maybe like 2. Yep, I think I will go with the stroke of 2. And what I'm going to do is we're going to give this a blink property. So for that, when our, hang on a sec, we want it to appear just like here, not before that was completed. And we want to give the blink property. For that, we're going to use the opacity. The T is the shortcut for using the opacity property, and for instance, if you've forgotten the shortcut keys of calling the opacity property, the position property, rotation, all you have to do is simply click on the drop down, go to transform, and over here you will find all the properties. So again, the T is the shortcut for using the opacity property, and I'm going to give it a keyframe like so. And just moving a few frames further, I'm going to give it a keyframe of 0. And again, a keyframe of 100. Oops. Give it a keyframe of 100, like so. And now we want our text is appearing, so we can just, we got text. And this is that blinking effect that we want. And then we want our cursor to move along with our text at the end of the Jedi over here. So at this point, hold Shift P to give the position property, and give it a position keyframe over here and one over here. Drag it all the way like so. Just quickly giving easy ease function to them, and now let's see how it goes. Maybe zoom out of it. Alright, perfect. So the overall animation is looking pretty cool, awesome animation. Obviously take your time to make Like in this case, I think you can make the text a little bit bigger, the X a little bit small. Take your time to keep them, like make them in the center. Use rulers. I'm just doing pretty fast raw type of work, but I'm showing you how to use the animation and all that stuff. Use rulers, and the shortcut for using rulers is Control R. Use rulers and all that stuff, make them in the center like so, and so yeah, like this is, I think, the overall animation that we meant to create. A simple search UI micro interaction which you can use in your UI project, for your web UI project, or any sort of app UI project, or if you just want to showcase, maybe you can improve it, practice on it, improve it better than me. So I think, yep, this concludes this video tutorial. Thank you so much for you guys. Thank you so much, guys. If you have watched the tutorial till this far, till the end of this, I'm sorry, I'm out of words. As I told you before, my first tutorial, and I'm not that much in the habit of doing lecture on seeing my laptop screen and talking to myself. Like at this point, I do feel like I'm talking to myself, so I'm not really in the habit of that, but I surely will get in the habit of that if I get quite a good response from you guys, a positive response from you guys. So all I need is encouragement and support, and I will promise to deliver my best. By the way, great content I'm preparing to deliver to you guys, and I could also fulfill all your requests. So if you have any sort of request for me that maybe you want to learn some sort of thing, do let me know, and I will try my best to cover those as well. Not only the UI section, but also any other sort of designing. Like I'm also working on making tutorials on like typography, banners, posters, logos, and especially in After Effects, the video intros and lower thirds, those sort of contents I'm also planning on covering. But the major target of my animation, my main focus over here of this channel is going to be mostly towards UI design, motion motion UI, UX, micro interactions like the one we did today. It's a pretty simple one. As we progress, we'll create really nice one, more cooler one, as a little bit more complex. But the more the complexity, the more it gets you can say fun to work with, and the more curiosity begins to learn. So by teaching you, obviously I will learn as well. And like was my first experience, and I can't wait to see how this first experience turned out. So thank you so much, guys, and this is the end of this video tutorial. Please subscribe, leave a like, and comment down on what do you think of my video tutorial and what should I cover more. I would try to upload more and more videos. Do follow me on my Facebook page or my Instagram page, the link to which will be in the description down below. And I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, peace, and have a good day.